Weinstein. My wife Robin and I are independent agents. We have our own practice, Weinstein Wealth Insurance Solutions. I've spoken at several events on the topic of never say no to an opportunity, how to create your own referral-based networking group, and the do's and don'ts of networking. I was told it's a good topic. I don't know if it's pertinent to annuities and retirement, but I've been in the space for 35 years and we could pivot to annuities and retirement as time permits and answer questions if you have. So just tell you who I am. I started in 1986 as a financial advisor with Merrill Lynch. Been in the securities industry for over 30 years. I sold my practice in 2016. I passed the CFP exam in 2011. I built a $100 million book of business. That's assets under management. That's not Medicare renewables yet. I was a $1 million plus producer for many years. And throughout my 30-year career, I held roles as training manager, district manager, and as director of sales in the property and casualty space, which allowed me to get my P&C license. Zach, can you hear me? All right, let me know. At the end of 2020, so I sold my investment practice in 2016. I did a little stint in the P&C space. And 2020 rolled around with the COVID, and November-ish, Robin and I got involved in open enrollment for health insurance and restarted our practice, Weinstein Wealth Insurance Solutions. So we pretty much do everything in the insurance space. We started from scratch. I did not go to old clients that I had for 25 and 30 years. We literally started from scratch. I'm going to share what I did before to build my first practice and how I took those pieces, components, networking opportunities, and how I translate that to the insurance side and what I've done to rebuild our practice. Robin shared with me before we left town, we have done, what'd you say, 540 policies in about less than an 18-month span. So we do group health, we do individual health, we do marketplace, we do off marketplace, we do Medicare, we do life, we do annuities. What am I missing? We do long-term care. Okay, so we pretty much cover everything, and we're averaging about 30 policies a month. Now some people are buying 2 or 3, obviously, right? But I think for a new business, I'm pretty proud of our first year's accomplishment. Did anybody see Tony's post the other day? Somebody asked about what a first-year agent can make, and he said between 30 and 40,000 for Medicare as an expectation. We did more than double that our first year from scratch. Okay. So our agenda today, really the main focus of this is to never say no to an opportunity. For many years, I've been the gatekeeper. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Let me give you the agenda. Are you an octopus? Networking do's and don'ts. How to build your own referral-based networking group, which I've done for over 20 years. How to generate inbound leads, not cold calling, not buying leads. If you have all the tools in your toolbox, we'll get to these last 2. Are you selling or are you solving? So let's talk about never say no to an opportunity. Joe, you've heard the story already. So about, 9 months ago, Facebook's a great place to pick up business, as you're speaking, right? You want to talk about? So we got involved in a group for agents, and we learned and got educated on how to use social media to generate activity. From that, somebody in my area, we're down in South Florida, reached out to me. He's in the Medicare space. He's in the Guru group with all of us and Justin. And he said, can you help my mother with a renter's policy? I know most of you don't do P&C in here. Joe does. A renter's policy is basically they don't own, they just need coverage for their contents. It's not a building, and it was a whopping $250 transaction, okay, at a 10% commission. So it's a $25 deal. And I'm splitting that with my P&C partner, right? Most of us don't want that business. True? It's not a big fish. But hey, never say no to an opportunity. So I said, yeah, we'll take care of that. We hammered it out in 24 hours. It was done, soup to nuts. He had the paperwork, they paid, his mother was covered, thank you very much. And he goes out and he posts on the Guru page and the Syndicate page and everywhere else that this guy Bruce was amazing. He turned around my mother's renter's policy in less than 12 hours. And if you need anything in P&C, hit up Bruce. I'm like, I don't do PNC. But he's now touting me as doing PNC because I didn't say no, and we're going to talk about I had a strategic partner, referral partner that I placed the business with because I'm duly licensed, can share that revenue. I'll give you some more stories on that later. So when you do blank, always say yes. Now the reason why is you're going to build a network of professionals, your own trusted advisor group, that you can bring in. So if I have a challenging case of PNC and I'm working with Joe and he's in Texas and I have an opportunity in Austin, I can bring in Joe. I could turn Joe over to it. Joe, would you like free leads and opportunities for business? Are you willing to share that revenue with me? Yeah, probably. Okay. Now, you can get tax advisors, you can get estate planning attorneys, you could do whatever you're not doing in your insurance space, find them, investment advisors, right? There's plenty of people out there. My focus is I want to be the center of influence. I want to be the gatekeeper. I want it to flow to me. The first time you tell your client or the lead that you're getting, no, I don't do that, do you think they're ever going to come back? Probably not. But the more you say yes, and that's your value proposition to your clients, what makes you different? Are we not all somewhat, what's the term, a commodity? Right? Can we go on certain sites and call centers and we could buy Ethos life insurance and we can call Geico? Why do they need us? Because we have a value proposition is come to us, we've got a network of people and we're going to help you get the answers. If I can't do it, I know somebody that does. Make sense?
Yep.
The key behind that is to get yourself surrounded by strong professionals to complement your skill set and give your clients solutions. Come on in. You can sit right there.
You got it?
I hardly spit. So let's talk about what your activities are when it comes to the world of marketing. Are you an octopus? I use the line, how many steaks are in your teepee? You go back to the days when the Indians walked around with their teepees and their wigwams. When you visualize a teepee, does it just have one stake in the ground? I'm just going to buy leads. Does it have a second stake in the ground that I'm going to hire a cold caller or I'm going to cold call? Does it have a third stake in the ground that says I'm going to send out mailers like Ryan? Right? So how many stakes do you have in your teepee? How many activities are you doing? Because not any one is going to always work absolutely 100% of the time. And what are you missing out on to adding to your repertoire? If you have only one or two, your TP is not going to stand. Any gust of wind is going to knock it over, and that's going to be the same with your marketing plan. So how many activities are you executing? These are basically, at least to me, the short list of things is you got cold calling, which can be painful, obviously very time consuming. Look, I started 1986 cold calling literally out of a phone book. There was no caller ID, answering machines were barely coming about. We just got away from rotary phones. Look it up, you millennials, what a rotary phone is, okay? So it was easy. There was no do not call list. There was no way, you just leave a message or they would answer their phone because they didn't know when it says spam call coming in like today, right? So cold calling's changed. I don't want to go back to cold calling for me, but buying leads can be expensive, time consuming, often disappointing. It didn't hit the mark. You're not sure what they're using to trigger those leads for you. Obviously, from the Medicare space, the turning 65 list is pretty easy. You can get birthday lists and send those out, right? Direct mail, expensive, time delays, inaccuracies, like Ryan was talking about. Postage is going up to 60 cents in July, right? At 58, it's going up to 60. So a 10,000 piece mailing before printing, buying the list, and everything else, you're already out $6 grand for 10,000 names. Natural market. We've all heard about that. Give me your top 50 friends and family, and let's start there, and then we'll get referrals from them, right? That's some organizations' method of building business. Networking groups, one of my fortes. Referrals, strategic partners, centers of influence, your website SEO, which I think Sandra's in here after me, can help you with some of that, more so on social media, okay? And the list keeps going because there's more and more new stuff coming up. So if you want to generate inbound leads, which activities can you execute? And I'm going to kind of skip some of this for sake of time. for me, it's really focusing on the yellow, right? That's my bang for my buck. That's where I put my time in. I am on, how many? 8 to 10 a week? I'm in about 8 to 10 networking groups a week, depending on the week. Some virtual, some in person. I love virtual. I mean, you could be on 3 a day and never leave your seat, right? So I've really exploded with business, just getting more opportunities on the Zoom side of things, although it's getting old for some people. All right, so this is kind of what we focused our energies on. So let's talk about the do's and don'ts of networking. You're going to go out there and start joining chambers of commerce or B&I, places like that. You want to meet people, you're going to run into your competition, and you're going to run into a lot of people that can complement your practice, and that's what you're looking for. So here are some of the problems when you get involved in a networking group. Does everybody know what B&I is when I say B&I? Business Network International. That's probably the most popular one around. My chamber has what's called leads groups, same concept. I'm in something called Network Lead Exchange, NLX, same concept. So there's just different programs or varieties out there for networking purposes. But the biggest problem is, first and foremost, if it's an existing group, you join B&I that has 25 people, and you're the new person, you got to get known, and you got to go meet 25 new people pretty fast. When I joined the chamber, we're down in South Florida, the Boca Raton Chamber of Commerce has over 2,000 members. Our monthly breakfast pre-COVID was over 300 people. You want to talk about social anxiety, and I got plenty. You may not think so, I'm standing up here, but I hate walking into a room with a group of strangers at a breakfast to figure out who am I meeting and what to do, okay? So the big piece here is, if it's an established organization, those cliques are already in existence. So that pod has an insurance agent, they've got a life insurance person, they got their auto and home, they have an estate advisor, they have a CPA, they have an investment advisor. And you're gonna muscle in. How are you gonna separate yourself? All right? Gauge your level of anxiety. I embrace it, I share it, I talk about it. I hate it. I hate it. I walk into a breakfast at the chamber and I'm like, what time does it end? Who do I know that's here? Where's Joe Campert? And then I'm gonna go over to Joe and we're gonna huddle up and I'm not gonna meet new people, right? And it happens. So accept that reality, gauge yourself, and apply the following. How you can set yourself up to win. Bring a networking buddy. I'm gonna call Joe and say, hey, I'm going to lunch at such and such next Tuesday. Do you wanna come with me? Yeah, that sounds great. So Joe and I are gonna go. Don't go to your events alone. Go with someone, divide and conquer, set up mini challenges. Hey Joe, lunch is on me if you get more cards than I get. Or you made more one-on-one appointments than I got. Right? So just have some fun with it. It could be a cup of coffee, doesn't matter. And you don't have to pay. You just want to challenge each other to do it. Right? So now he walks out and he goes, I got 16 cards and, you know, I met Galen and I did this. I got 4 cards. I got 4, he got 16. Next time I got to do better. Right? This is one of my hang-ups is I don't like to be rude. You'll see me here this weekend and you're gonna see people in groups talking and I'm just gonna kind of walk by and either somebody's gonna call my name and call me in or I'm just gonna keep walking by, okay? I don't like interrupting people who are in the middle of talking. When you see those cliques sitting in those events and they're all talking, I'm either looking for eye contact, I'm looking to get waved in, or I'm just gonna kind of sit over here and wait, and then somebody I know is gonna come over and we're gonna start our own pod. Right? So having a buddy helps bring you into the conversations. Joe's over there on that side of the room, I'm over here. I see Joe's talking to Zach, he's got Galen, he's got Matt. He gives me one of these. All right, I can go over, hey, do you guys know Bruce? And Joe introduced me to Matt and Galen and Zach, right? Later on, I'm talking to Robin, Nick, was it? Elliot, I'm sorry, Elliot. So I'm like, hey Joe, come on over, come meet Elliot, right? So this is a good way to break that paradigm kind of head trash to just work on meeting some people. Great idea here. Again, our chamber does it. They provide a roster of the registrants to that breakfast or that lunch or that event. So we've got cocktails and contacts at 5 o'clock happy hour. We've got the breakfasts. We've got an under 40 group. We got an over 40 group. I mean, the chambers will have a million activities to go to. On average, you get 25 to 50 people. Okay? And breakfast even more. So you can get the list of the registrants right when you register. And I can see that Joe signed up. All right? Now, who do you want to meet? You do a little homework. Is there a CPA coming to this event? Is there an estate planning attorney coming to the event? Is there a financial advisor coming to the event? Right? Get their names, who signed up. Now you can go around the room, you do one of two things. Either you really, what's the word? When you follow them? Stalk them. Right? You can really stalk them. And,
not to be creepy or anything.
I've never done it. You can find their Facebook, you can find their LinkedIn, right? You could go to their websites, you could do some homework, and you could be super prepared. They don't have to know it, but now I've got a face, I'm gonna look for her, let me go find her. Or I go up to Joe and I say, hey Joe, have you seen Robin? I'm looking for this person named Robin so-and-so. I think I saw her back there. Do you know her? Yeah. Would you mind introducing me to her? Sure, let me take you over. Boom, icebreaker. Okay? So now when you get to them, I don't know who I use Calendly. I'm like Mr. Tech, but not Mr. Tech. Like I actually have a degree in computers from 1,000 years ago when we had like Atari and Pong, right? Commodore 64 stuff, right? So, you know, I'm up there. Yeah, Radio Shack, right? So, you know, technology is a challenge in the new world, but I need to embrace it. I'm always educating myself on tools around technology, and one of them I use is called Calendly. Everybody use Calendly? Okay, it's phenomenal. Pay for the pro version for the whopping $144 a month and see what happens to your business. I don't take inbound phone calls. Everybody gets my calendar. Everything that I have posted in social media world takes you to my calendar. I don't take random interrupting my day phone calls. You want to talk to me? Here's my calendar. Please put a call on. I'm working 12, 14-hour days. How many times do I give you the business? Robin's upstairs, I'm downstairs. She's like, I got Joe on the phone and he's got a question about, I'm like, tell Joe to make an appointment, send him the calendar. Like, I'm not interrupting my day. I'm in the middle of something. I probably have 3 Zoom networking groups going on. I'm off camera, about to go on camera. I'm not taking the phone call. I use Calendly, okay? So get your Calendly out. My phone's packed. You pull the calendar out. Joe, great to meet you, da-da-da. I think we should get together. How about coffee? How about lunch? I got my calendar right there. We can either sync it up or I ping them my link, find something that works for you. If you use the pro version of Calendly, you have an unlimited amount of appointment blocks you can schedule, meaning I can send out a 15-minute block, I can send out a 30-minute block, I can send out a 45-minute block, an hour, hour and a half. So I have things labeled lunch, dinner, networking. And it's a 1.5 hour time block. So if I'm gonna meet you for lunch, here's the calendar. You can see when I'm available for lunch between these time slots on these days, pick a time we're gonna meet for lunch and do a one-on-one. It's service time, right? It's renewals for clients. You got all these, right? Home enrollment's back. You got to get, here's the 30-minute calendar link. This is when I'm doing service calls. This is when I'm doing reviews. And I give them that calendar, all right? On a tangent on calendar. Schedule your one-on-one, set up a coffee, get some private time in front of that person. I don't know if it's next, but I have a tip. All right, I'll do that. If I invite somebody out, I pay. Most of the time, everybody's going to want to split it, just like the real dating world, right? Mm-hmm. But I pay, and I insist on paying. I say, I invited you. It's on me. You can get next time. Yes. And this is a test. Ask me how many next times I've had.
How many next times you have?
Next to none. No, a bunch. But what you're looking for is, are they quick to reciprocate? How well did it go? Did we mesh? And in some sense, I have a chip because I got the first one. Now they may never call me again, I may never see them again, but hopefully they will say, hey, let's do something. And again, a lot of it is COVID. We haven't been doing too much, so that's kind of my half joke. But this is something I've been doing for years. Yes, I put the word card caddy up there. I have 2 digital business cards. I use those predominantly, but we still give out paper cards, right? So back in the day, I had a card caddy before you could actually scan a card onto a phone, and flip phones didn't do that. My bag phone didn't do that, right? So the card caddy had my network of people, and when I meet somebody, I take 2 to 3 business cards. I don't ask for one, I ask for several. And I have my card caddy with those people. So now when I'm meeting, what's your name?
Renee.
Renee?
Yes.
I'm meeting Renee for coffee. I'm getting a sense of what Renee's business is, what she's looking for, who she's looking to connect with, and I know what's sitting in my card caddy. And I start flipping it over and I pull out, ideally, 3 cards. So I'm giving. The whole point of networking is you gotta give to get. If your hand is out, forget it. Put it out, give it first, and watch what happens. So I'm gonna give Renee 3 cards that I feel are gonna help her in her business. I'm gonna pay it forward. I'm gonna reassure her that the people that I'm giving her are gonna not only take her call, they're gonna see how they can either potentially do business or introduce you to the next person you need to meet, which is what networking is all about.
Yep.
It's the network of the network of the network. It's Insurance Syndicate having 4,000?
Yep.
4,000 people in there, starting with 1 that became and mushroomed. And how many did Justin have? Like 8,000?
Yeah, he's got a lot.
Okay, so look what happened. So that's the network. Questions? Zach, you still hear me? Good. I use the chambers over the years to draw people into my private group. I use it as a feeding ground. How are we on time? You have a watch and you're looking at your
That's
phone.
it. My battery ran out. You're good.
What is this? Oh, so I used to sponsor the Chamber of Commerce's new member orientation. So if you join the chamber, they have a monthly meeting, welcome all the new members, and there's about 25 people in the room, and I got to be introduced and speak for a couple minutes, and I talked a lot about this, about the social anxiety and bringing a buddy and how to make the chamber work for you. But what else am I getting? I'm getting 25 pieces of fresh, unclicked, attached members. We're all in it together. This is your first day. You're your own clique. You're your class. Go find each other, work with each other, because you're trying to break in with the other 2,000 members. Good luck. Okay? But I would recruit members from my group based upon what they did, saying, oh, you do television media and PR work? Oh, you'd be great in my group. Would you like to join my group? And then they stay in both, but you're giving them another. Do you want to do more than one networking group? Probably. Takes time to develop. Steps to overcome. I said this before, I'll say it often, you got to give to get. People are always going to be defensive. If you guys go to SWAT, you see Nate Offert, he talks about the croc brain. That we all have that, I'm just looking. I'm not here to buy. I'm in the car dealership, and the first guy comes over to you, and I'm just looking. But you're there, you want help, you have questions, right? So the same thing's going to go on in your networking circles. You're going to walk in the thing, and they're going to go, oh, here comes another realtor, here comes another mortgage broker, oh, another insurance guy, all right, fine. So they're going to be defensive. What I've learned is I put them on the offensive. Because I've had 300 clients, 600 clients, 1,000 clients over the years as an investment advisor. What are you going to do for my clients? Well, wait a minute, what? Anybody know what Sandler sales, Sandler training? Zach? Okay. Sandler's about pattern interrupt, isn't it? It's doing things people aren't expecting because that croc brain is geared to do certain things and you want to go against that brain and get the defensive down. So when you still go up to an accountant or an estate planning attorney, they're like, oh, here comes another insurance investment person, right? Oh, listen, Renee, I've got hundreds of clients. Tell me about your practice. Why would I want to have my clients come work with you? What? You didn't ask me? No, I don't. I want to give you business. I want to know what's going to make you unique and special for my clients. Okay? I don't ask for opportunities, I offer and challenge them. Tell me what you could do for my clients and why I should come to you. This I've shared. I know Cody's dad, Brian, has a really great relationship with an estate planning attorney. I lost a very long-term relationship with an estate planning attorney that I worked with back in New Jersey for about, I don't know, 8 or 10 years. And all my trainees, when I was training financial advisors, used him. We used him, my family used him. And this is in, well, let's just say 2003. And I'm buying a book of business with another partner. And we're gonna have hundreds of new clients. And so I met this attorney for lunch. And I said, look, my partner asked me one question. How much business have you given us back? Because we've given him dozens and dozens and dozens of pieces of business. And the reality was, we got nothing. His response to me was, well, you didn't give me that much. Collective groan of the crowd, right? Like, what did you just say to me? It wasn't that much. You know what you gave me?
0.
Bupkis. Okay? It's 40 love, bro, and we ain't playing tennis. Okay? So I caution, and that was the last time he and I ever spoke, never did any more business with him. That relationship was fractured forever. I'm not going back. How do you say that to me? Are you out of your mind? So my caution here for those of you who want to meet other professionals like CPAs and attorneys, the estate planning attorney is rarely going to be able to reciprocate. Accept and understand that they are fed predominantly by everybody in this room. And most of their clients are coming in with an advisor. So how are they supposed to say, Elliot sucks, go work with Joe? Not gonna happen. Doesn't mean they won't have opportunities. You really gotta develop the relationship, but just understand, I have these power tips in there. All right, so how to build your own networking group. Drawbacks to memberships like a BNI. Lack of access to your seat. How many people have tried to join groups and found out, oh, we already have an insurance agent. Oh, we already have a Medicare agent. Oh, we already have a health agent. Oh, we already have a PNC agent. Right? Yep. Never happened to anybody? Okay. Their schedule, their rules, high initiation fees, buy-ins, and dues. But it's yellow. Why? There's lack of intimacy. You're in a room with 25 strangers. I said earlier, you're the new kid in the block, and now you've got a room with 25 strangers. That's going to take a long time to develop trust, right? Know, like, and trust. Everybody heard that phrase 1,000 times. People do business with who? People they know, people they like, people they trust. You have lack of intimacy. The trust isn't there yet. They might like you. I like you, Ryan. We met, we talked for 10 minutes. I'd like to get to know you more. Renee, you seem great, but I'm not sure if I trust you yet with my best client. Let's develop this relationship, right? So if you're going to build your own group, which is what I've done, restarted my group post-COVID. I had a group in New Jersey I ran for about 15 years till I moved from New Jersey. And the group eventually petered out because the people I put in place don't pull the boat as hard as I pull the boat, I guess. So start by being selfish. What we're basically talking about is you starting your own group. If you go to BNI and they say, sorry, Galen, we don't have any seats for you in Medicare, why don't you go start your own group? We'll help you. Well, that's very nice, but Galen's going to bring her 10 friends into BNI and all pay them $500, and BNI just made $5,000, and Galen has her own group called BNI, and their rules and their dues. So my challenge is, Galen, if you already got 10 people, go start your own group, right? That's what I'm talking about. So be selfish. Who feeds you? That's fine. I do a lot of business with Joe. Let me invite Joe into the group. I want to keep it going. He's been good to me. I want to reciprocate. And I want to open up the power of the networking group to help his business, which is what we're doing. Identify and contact key players in their space. Ask 5 CPAs. Ask 5 attorneys. You can have 6 attorneys in the networking group. And they love it because they feed off of each other because they're their own specialists and they get referral fees. They can't give them to us, but they could share business with other attorneys, right? So go put a group of 6 attorneys together and watch the magic between them, all right? Identify, contact key players in their space, invite them into a group. I've always done what I call industry exclusive. There's only one Medicare agent in the group. There's only one financial advisor in the group, okay? Now, I've had problems joining groups because they say, well, we have the opening for health insurance. I'm like, well, what about life? What about Medicare? What about group benefits? What about Aflac? What about PNC? Oh, we already have those people. So I can only talk about Medicare, nothing else? Not interested. Because I'm a jack of all trades, I do all the businesses. So I'm not gonna join a group and watch other people get the life insurance and the health insurance and the group benefits and the Aflac when I'm not gonna put my time in there because you're basically putting one arm behind my back and I can't consult people, right? So my group always has exclusivity. Would these be the people you want your client, your family members to be entrusted with? Because there's nothing worse than giving somebody's name out and that person drops the ball and then you get the phone call to hear about it, right? So I want to make sure that these are as vetted as they can be. The CPA that I've been working with for over 20 years, 25 years, he does our stuff. It's not that he's given me a ton of business back. But if I tell you in the middle of tax season, if I'm sitting with a client and they're asking me a question and I text him, he's responding. He's putting the phone down, I'm sorry, he's doing his whatever, and he's gonna answer me. That's worth its weight in gold. So I don't need the business, I need the answer because now, boom, in the middle of tax season, your accountant just gave you the answer to that question in front of a client. What does it make you look like to your client? This person's pretty connected, got a great network of people. So yeah, I want them to be trustworthy. I've said it how many times now? Gotta give together. We basically have a rule in our group. We used to meet for breakfast twice a month back in New Jersey, our trusted advisor group. And I would warn every member, if you're gonna invite a guest, you need to set their expectations. This is not a grab and go. Here's my card, here's a coupon, come see me, I sell solar, I got this, I got vitamins, I got suits, what do you need, come on down. They're not looking to join the group. You're bringing a guest in to kick the tires to join the group. The group's gonna vote on you whether or not they wanna offer you membership, but if you're coming in for a grab and go, it's gonna work exactly the opposite way. We're taking all that promotional stuff you just left and we're putting it in a garbage can and nobody in the group will ever work with you. You can't go in expecting to get business right away. You gotta give to get. These are, I think we're pretty good on time. These are an array of all the places. We use Agency Block. Anybody use Agency Block? It has a commission tracker, so we bought it without having a client on the books. And I said to Robin, learn it. As this business comes in, I want you to be able to use it. And we pay for the commission tracker. How many people track their commissions? Religiously, how many people track their, there's not a lot of hands up. How many people are tracking?
100%.
How many people are in the insurance business here? Oh, all the hands went up now. Your clients get paid 100% of every claim they've ever submitted under 65 or over. Does the insurance company not like to pay and reimburse? Well, guess what? They don't like to pay your commissions either. How many times a month are we missing
We catch
commissions?
stuff all the time.
It's hours of legwork to go find our money. So here's the simple lesson. Nobody cares about your money except you. If you're not tracking your commissions, get to it.
You're missing.
Okay, so we pay for, it's about $170 a month, $2,000 a year. We use Agency Block, which includes their commission tracking. Now that's great if you have an agency like Joe where you have agents or sub-agents because you can code them in. I'm gonna put Ryan in as a 1/3 referral partner. Any business he gives me, he's tagged, he gets 1/3, that client comes in, we do the business, Robin drops it in, it's gonna trigger a report, here's your 33%. I got everybody right there at my fingertips. Now I don't know jack about Agency Block, Robin runs it, okay? But I know what it can do and that's the power, just like I said with Calendly, you gotta track your commissions. I won't be disparaging. Our upline has about 80 people under him. He didn't know about Agency Block. He doesn't track his commissions. I'm like, do you have any? I said, if I'm missing hundreds and hundreds of dollars every month, what on earth could you be missing out on? How are you not tracking it? Okay, start tracking. So the reason I took a tangent on that is everything here is listed in agency block as the coding for where the business came from. Well, that's a Joe Campert lead. Joe referred me that deal. Boom. I know how many deals I got from Joe. I know how many deals I got from that CPA. I know how many deals I got from that XYZ. Okay? So we do business in all these areas. We have, I don't know if it has a pointer. So NLX, Network Lead Exchange. There's a mortgage broker in that group, referred me to his fiance. She did health insurance with us. Then her friend called. Then her friend's friend called. Then her friend's friend's friends called. Then her friend's 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 friends called. Okay, we are 8 deep. 8 deep from Bridget all the way. Bridget has no idea who these people are. We got a call Monday from a 30-year-old with a kid and a wife. I'm like, how'd you get our name? I got it from this one. I said to Robin, you know where that one came from? Bridget. Okay, so track this. Now tied to that, we use something called mailbox power. They do cards, they do gifts. Again, if you see anything that we do, follow us on Facebook. Robin's the master with Canva and Facebook. Oh, sorry, Facebook. What's it called?
Mailbox power.
Mailbox power, thank you, and Facebook.
And Facebook.
We send out for $25 a custom thank you card with a Canva photo of them, their family, their pet. We find something, what's the word again? Stalking.
Yeah.
We stalk them. We find a picture. We send it with a thank you. We do a brownie box. These are the most delicious brownies you've ever had. And it's a big thank you with a box that they could save and a nice custom card, which, oh, by the way, has all our contact info on it. Justin's got them. Cody Askins has got them. Okay? Coach Bird has got them. For those who know Coach Bird, coming here Saturday. We send a thank you out to everybody. Thanks for having me on your podcast. Thanks for having me at your thing. Thanks for letting me speak. Blows people away.
And always a hand.
Huh?
And always a handwritten.
Oh, Robin always sends a handwritten note
A
for the
handwritten
individual
note
deal.
for everybody.
So, question?
Mailbox what?
Power?
Power.
Power? I don't think I have it on here, but I have a link I could give people.
You're at almost 40 minutes.
I know, we're almost 40 minutes. I got the bouncer in there.
Oh, okay.
How much?
7. 2:15, you got 6 minutes.
All right. I track my referral partners. I send them to my referral partners. My referral partner sends me a piece of business. I send, depending on what the business is, obviously for those who do under 65 and they're on the marketplace and you're making 8 cents, I may not send them a $25 brownie box, but we do send everybody a handwritten card, right? If it's a private pay deal, it's a Medicare deal, it's a life, they're getting a brownie box, okay? And I just keep paying it forward, and we use those tools, and it auto ships, you build it out, it's great. But the whole point of this is all of these things are in our systems, in our various databases of tools and services to get, is Luke at the event? What?
Can I share something?
Yeah, you can share.
That sometimes when we send a brownie box, a client will put it on their Facebook page
Yeah.
and call us out on it. So then their whole,
They're seeing
their,
it.
their
We're posting
all-
it, they're posting it.
Right, they'll take a
It's
picture and
just
thank us.
like anything else, it's
So-
front of mind.
Right.
We had a woman tied to this Bridget. Her name was Tammy. She got her brownies. She called to thank us. I said, how were they? She said, I don't know. My father ate them all. She's his primary caregiver now. She's left work. He's 94. I said, can you send me a picture of your dad? She goes, why? I said, just send me a picture of your dad. So she sent a picture of the two of them. We made a brand new batch. Robin made new labels of that picture. And we sent him his own brownie box.
We said something like, we heard you liked
We heard you
Tammy
like
so
brownies.
much, or,
I mean,
you know.
the $25 gonna miss my wallet?
Right.
What kind of measure of impression are you leaving? You're making a nice elderly person's day, 4 more brownies, like he'll be done by noon? Yeah.
I was just going back to this, I know our time is short, but going to that CPA that doesn't send you very much business, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like it's a one-way relationship?
So the estate planning attorney was the one that was really a zero sum.
Right.
The CPA does do some business, but not a whole lot, but again, his value prop to me is his attentiveness, easy for me to not say, attentiveness of response.
Right.
And that to me, after 25 and 30 years, is worth more than whether or not he got, a deal or two, right? He is turning 65, we're doing our Medicare
Yeah.
in a few months, so he does what he can, but again, people, if you're managing people's money, that's a way different relationship than just some insurance work, right? And so when somebody's got $1 million, you're just not gonna turn people over that easily. And CPAs are notoriously conservative and don't want, because when the market corrects, and I've been around long enough to see multiple market corrections, the CPA is gonna get the blowback.
Yeah.
So they tell you, I don't want you doing this, and this sometimes. You gotta be careful. All right, we're gonna skip all that, so we're out of time. I'll just take some questions. I do the whole thing, are you selling versus are you solving? One of my taglines in all my networking groups is, I have nothing to sell, just problems to solve. If you use it, send me $1 every time you say it. Okay, I gotta trademark this thing.
It's in the mail.
But I'm not here to sell you anything. I've been in consultative sales for 30 years. Tell me what you need, let me see what I have, here's my toolbox, I'm gonna do it. If you're just doing Medicare, you're gonna be here learning about annuities, you're gonna be here learning about these other insurance space. Some people are cross-selling now, right? Galen's opening up, Joe's opening up. We're doing more business than what our core business was now more than ever. Either do it yourself, oh, I made a card when I skipped. You can add or expand your knowledge base to include more products and services, or find strategic partners and fill those gaps. That's your trusted advisor group. If you're licensed, you'll get paid. You can decide. I did a commercial. I never finished that commercial. That guy with the $25 sale. I totally went left field on that. One of my groups had a commercial insurance agent years ago, and I know the person made a 6-figure commission. Commercial pays, right? Buku dollars. It's a big ticket, $1 million of premiums at a nice 10% probably. Okay, do you think I got $100,000 of referrals back? No. That person's happy, I'm slighted. Now I'm licensed. Now I say, Galen, if I bring you this business, can you pay me 1/3? You bring me business, I'll pay you 1/3. If you have sub-agents, don't you pay them and cover their expenses and run the office and buy them leads? Are you making more than 20 to 30% on them? Probably not. We're probably close, right? So if somebody's gonna just give you business, give them 1/3, I think I'm happy with that. So we pay 1/3 out to anybody that brings us business if we're doing all the work. And we ask for it back with the partners that we work with. And we're writing PNC business in Florida. That was my tangent. I told you I could talk for a long time. So I met a attorney. Just lock the door, Sandra can wait. I met an attorney at one of my groups. We set up a one-on-one. I actually put on a suit. Those that don't know, I lost 50 pounds, so none of my clothes fit. Okay? So that's why I'm wearing jeans, because I still have a couple of my other ones there before I get more clothes. So, but Robin's like, put on your suit, look your best. You always look good in a suit. I put in a suit, go around, we're talking, da-da-da. Guess what I give her, Renee?
What?
I give her 3 people she's interested in meeting, and I make email introductions to them when I get back to my office. I paid it forward. You said you want to meet this, you want to meet that, here's who I know, let me introduce you, great, boom. I went home, I took care of business, I sent it right out. 1 week later, she sends me an email introducing her to her client. She does real estate and family law, and she's got a couple different things in her practice. You know the story.
Yeah.
The guy just bought a $7 million house in South Florida on the intercoastal,
With cash.
flood and hurricane, right? So can you help him?
Yes.
Do I do PNC?
Not yourself.
Of course. Send me what you need.
Yeah.
$40,000 premium for flood. Vault did it. The next offer was about $75,000. We got the auto, the home, the umbrella, to the tune of about $47,000. It's about a 10% commission, and we get half. because my relationship with that person is more than a third, it's half. And I get 70% on renewals. Pretty sweet, right? Okay, so find those, yeah, question from the gallery.
Oh, and by the way, he's new to the state and needs health insurance.
Oh, yeah, we did his health insurance too. Yeah, thank
Oh,
you.
by the way.
Thank you. Oh, by the way. Oh, by the way. All right, real quick. See me afterwards. If you want my contact info, text the word PlanMan, 321-421-5213. Hit our website. This is my podcast, Ask the Plan Man. Like, follow, subscribe, share. Thank you, everybody. Sorry we're out of time. Finance insurance.
Good.
Yeah,